Hi, I'm Molly at Walsh, a licensed insolvency practitioner. So in this video, I'm looking at the considerations for a new entity taking over the business of one that is insolvent. So you have the old company that's insolvent and say in liquidation, and the new company that is NewCo, which is going to continue to trade using that business. So in this scenario, we need to ensure that the new company has paid the old company a fair value for its assets. The company, depending on what it does, may have vehicles, it may have stock, it may have plant and machinery, or it could quite simply have computer equipment, tables, chairs, etc. But those tangible assets need to be bought by the new company. They can't simply be taken over. So we need to work out what the value of those assets are. And I would recommend that an independent qualified agent is instructed. They would carry out an inventory and evaluation on the assets and provide you with a range of what those assets should be sold for, and then they should be sold in line with that valuation. However, if the company assets is just a laptop and maybe a mobile phone, then obviously an inventory and evaluation is a bit excessive. Essentially, I would obtain what's known as a desktop valuation, which is a lot cheaper, and it just gives you a guide as to what it's probably worth. And then you know what the assets are and what they should be sold for. There should be either a sale purchase agreement or an invoice in relation to the sale of the assets from the old company into the new company. It's important as well to include any IPR, intellectual property rights, as well within any sale or invoice. Again, the new company cannot simply take over the website and use its branding. It needs to buy it. So make sure again that there's a value put on the intangibles and that they are included within either the invoice or sale agreement and that they are paid for. Then in regards to the employees, if they're being taken over by the new company, then I recommend that an employment specialist or a solicitor dealing with employee rights is instructed to advise you on the rights of transfer of the undertaking of the protection of employees, commonly known as 2P. You just need to make sure you understand what you're taking on if the employees are transferred over to you. Then there's also the practical considerations as well. Make sure that the new company has enough investment behind it so that it can pay for the sale of the assets and that it can pay the employees' wages. You don't want it to fall immediately as soon as it sets up. So make sure that you've got enough backing, whether that's from investors or loans, etc. Then make sure that you've got an accountant or a bookkeeper or both to make sure that the company's correctly maintained from a financial perspective going forward, and that you comply with all the company house regulations as well. So it's important to have that in place. And also consider whether or not you should be registered for VAT, and if there's any licensing issues dependent on what the company does. So it might be that your license is connected to the limited company and cannot be transferred over. So you need to check that out as well before you start to trade. But if you've got any questions or you're considering this or just want to run it past us, please get in touch with us at Park Walsh. We'll be happy to run through it all with you. Okay, thanks so much.